senior NFL insider for The Athletic. The trade deadline is right around the corner. We saw two big moves this week. Amari Cooper seems like an inexpensive, great fit for the Buffalo Bills. Devontae Adams going to cost the Jets something, but he should make a near immediate impact. Dianna Russini is joining us live. Okay, let's start so Aaron's not happy with Mike Williams. He calls him out publicly. I actually think as terms of go routes, red zone, nice kid. He's got value on the market. I thought he'd go back to the Chargers. Does Mike Williams have a market for any decent, playoff level teams, Dianna?
Yeah, right now there are teams definitely poking around with the Jets. You got the Saints, the Steelers, and the Chargers, the team that you just mentioned, that are interested in possibly figuring out a trade package, something that would work. Obviously, Mike Williams would be returning to LA, the team that traded him to New York. So as soon as Devontae Adams landed in New York, the flag went up. Everyone realized, okay, this is going to change what they're going to do at the receiver position. But look, he's dealing with the fact that he's coming off injury. His age is also another issue. So, you think about a team like, let's say, the Kansas City Chiefs,
right,
who are, they're in need, but that doesn't seem like that would be the right fit for the Chiefs, on top of the fact that he would cost.
Yeah.
So that's become the problem here. And that's always the problem during this time, right? You have a player like DeAndre Hopkins, for example, right? Where I know there are teams that are poking around, that are interested in him, but it's the price tag. It's the salary that's crushing some of them. So unless they can find a team willing to take on some of that, most of these players may want to get traded, but that may not be the case.
Okay, Jets and Haason Reddick. So Haason and Drew Rosenhaus. Drew is a deal-making agent. Reddick is a pure pass rusher. Jets have a good defense. If they have a need, it's probably that. Is there a timeline here on this working, or could Drew make a deal for somebody else and the Jets get compensation?
Yeah, so when Drew met with the New York Jets on Monday Night Football to just figure out, okay, I'm new. I'm the new agent. I was brought in to make this work. Haason wants to be here, but you got to give us an opportunity to go look for a trade. The Jets said, all right, go see what's out there. We're going to give you a short little window here. We're going to put a deadline on this at some point, though, where we're going to let you talk to other teams, which is what Rosenhaus did, which is also why he's a great agent. He immediately got on the phone with all the teams, sending messages out, calling them, going, who's interested, who needs, let's talk. But we're at a point right now where I can't find a team that is serious about trading with the New York Jets at this point.
Yeah.
I do know that the Jets want to make this work. Woody Johnson wants to make this work. We saw him at the owners' meetings a couple days ago in Atlanta, and he continues to say he just wants Haason to show up.
Yeah.
So Drew seems committed to trying to make it work with New York. We'll just see if they'll be able to come up with a number that will make Haason Reddick happy, because that's been the problem with all of this. And somebody close to him shared with me a few weeks ago that he is willing to die on this hill. He wants the number, the money that he expected from the New York Jets. So we'll see if the Jets will be able to come up with that.
Okay, when Aikman and Irvin, two big stars, publicly bash the team, and the two things you never want to hear about a team is they're soft, that's Michael Irvin on the Cowboys, or they're lazy, that's Aikman, in the same week. The messaging is clear. You talked to Jerry. Where do you think this McCarthy-Jerry thing stands? Those are heavy criticisms from marquee former players.
Yeah, the criticisms have been pretty consistent, though, throughout the season. Yes, these are marquee players and big names that are connected to the Dallas Cowboys. But Jerry Jones has done, I think, a pretty good job the last week of taking the heat off his team and putting it on himself. You guys know the story of him having a bit of an explosion on that morning radio station in Dallas. And I actually saw him later that day at the owners' meetings, and we talked about it. And he didn't apologize. He wasn't making any excuse as to why he went back at those radio hosts. He just said, I don't want those kind of questions from the flagship station, and really went in on that. But in terms of Mike McCarthy's future, because I did ask him if he's made any considerations about changing the head coach and even possibly firing some of these coordinators, getting a new voice, knowing that this defense has not been great, even some issues on offense. What's the story? He's not doing it. He's not doing it. And he said it and he was pretty defiant about it, that he's going to be sticking with this coaching staff. And in terms of this upcoming trade deadline that we started this conversation about for November 5th, we know that there are some holes here on this Cowboys team, but Jerry doesn't think so.
Yeah.
They're not going to be active. They are sticking with the roster they have. They just need to improve the details in practice. That was my biggest takeaway from what he thinks this Cowboys team needs to do better.
Okay. Bears offense is good. Lions offense is good. Vikings offense is good. And the Packers offense is good. So Aidan Hutchinson, that's a bad division to lose a dominant pass rusher. So Detroit, there's a window here. They're going to have to start paying big money to some of these young stars here in a couple years. They're also good enough. The Lions roster is good enough. They could give up a first-round pick to get a Maxx Crosby, and I don't think it would hurt them for a year because, seriously, they have their tackles, their quarterback. They have Aidan would come back next year. They have a star receiver. So they're very unique where very few teams could give up a first-round pick and you wouldn't notice it. Detroit may be one of those. If Minnesota off a bye, Dianna, just gashes them, just up and down the field, I could see Detroit going, we need Maxx Crosby. You tell me, is Detroit considering Maxx Crosby or a big first-round worthy move?
Everybody wants Maxx Crosby.
Yes.
Every coach in football wants Maxx Crosby. And I talked to owner Mark Davis about it. He's like, this is all chatter. This is all because I'm not moving him. He is a Raider. And, Max spoke with reporters recently, and he left a window open in his remarks, saying he wants to win, whether it's here, wherever. I think that was probably looked into a little too much by all of us. I think he just misspoke a little. I think, I know, actually, I don't even think I know from his perspective, he wants to stay in Las Vegas, and all this chatter is gossip. Now, I say that, right? But I've been on this show with you where I banging the table, this head coach, this person said they are not moving their guy as long as they're the head coach, as long as they're the owner of this team. And what do we see happen? They get traded. Right. I'm not trying to add some smoke to this because I do believe Mark Davis in this. I believe
I do
that
too.
They look at Maxx Crosby as a centerpiece of this Raiders team.
Right.
He is everything about what you want in a Raider. So look, in terms of Detroit, I do think they're going to make calls. I do. I think they're going to call the Bengals, maybe see if Trey Hendrickson is a possibility for them. Look, for right now, I think they're patching it up just to get through this game, but I do expect them to pick up the phone. I don't think Hassan Reddick is someone that fits what they're about and what they want to do.
Yeah.
And the other thing with Reddick too, Colin, is game shape. He's been out. Week 7? He hasn't played. Yeah. So it's not an immediate impact if you bring a guy like Reddick here.
Yeah. Dianna Russini, covered the NFL for a decade. Athletic senior NFL insider. Have a great weekend as always. Thank you for stopping by.
All right. Thanks, Colin. Thanks, Jay.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.